very rare to have some grapes actually growing under this climate, but Mr. Dominique Auroy managed it. Mr. Dominique Auroy is no stranger to wine making. He was one in France for several years before coming here, and he still has assets in France and in some other countries in the world, all centered around wine. So first, I will explain briefly how wine is made and the difference between white and red, basically. Because otherwise, all the wines, is kind of white, except for one thing that you do to make it red, and rosé as well. Today we're going to have a dry white and then a sweet white to try. How is wine made? First, you need grapes. It's made from grapes. You harvest them, and then in the old times they literally stomped on them. Now you have machine for it. And you leave it to macerate, to ferment. And then you take the liquid, and you can age it or not. Basically, that's how wine is made. Now there is one more step to have red. Is you do not take only the juice, you make the fermentation, the maceration with the peel of the grape. That's what's going to give it its color, its tannin, it's a bit more harsh notes and all of this. That's the difference between white and red, which will become relevant later. For this, Dominique Auroy took a lot of time to find what he wanted to do. First, there was the problem of where. He found a small motu near Rangiroa. There is a map. I'm sure you know where it is. If you want to see, it's right there. It is, no, I am bad at geography, but if I don't fool myself, I think it is in fact a bit more north-west. But it's still very local. Yeah. So it grows on the motu. Now, since it is tropical climate, one thing that is very nice is it can make 2 harvests per year instead of just a regular one. The grapes really likes it, it grows a lot, so it goes up to 2 harvests per year. Now it is on coral soils, which means we're going to find some minerality and a bit of iodine to it. Also, as I said during the rum tasting, grapes is also of a vegetable, a fruit that really likes to plant stuff from what's around. Since all around us there is some tropical fruit, you're going to find some of these notes as well. What is a bit funny is the color. Looks about the same. In fact, this one looks a bit clearer. But what we're not used to is this one is a sweet one.
Que je ne pas n'importe quoi en français.
Now do not worry, I do have another bottle at the ready.
Is that the same bottle that we drank the other night?
Yes, indeed.
That's what we had last night too.
Did you find it at the grocery store?
No.
No? There is some at Chinli. It is a bit more in the main town if you need.
Okay. You gotta love this view, right? Incredible.
So this wine, if you would this to like already swirl around, try to smell the aromas. We have very special grapes in this one. It is two kind of grapes. First, Carignan red, 95% of it. This red is indeed usually used for red wine, which is normally you would find some red fruit associated with it. Here we're more on the citruses side of things. And then we have 5% Italia. Now Italia is very rare to find in wines. It is usually a table grape when you eat like at dessert or during a small break. This one is going to bring a bit more of the freshness, a bit more crisp, and put everything that's tropical a bit on the green side of things and not too ripe, which helps with it making it a dry wine. So what do we think?
It's nice.
Should be very nice as an appetizer wine, or
Yeah.
with some light fish. It's a taste is light, it's not going to drown it. Yes?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Now, I've talked about notes right now. Do not be afraid if you do not feel any of what I say. When us bartenders and sommelier, we talk about notes, it's something very specific. Like there is no mango in it. There is no like salt into it. There is no real coral. It's just like your palate and your aroma sense. It develops when you're young, really young. So it depends on when you were brought up. I was brought up in France, which is very different from here. So when you have some local people try this wine, they're all about like the tropical fruit, the salt and everything. And we're like more like, yeah, you know, it's a bit on the green side, it's a bit on the other side. When stuff is written on the bottle, it's usually they bring people from all around the world and they make a consensus like, okay, we all smell mango, okay, we all taste the citruses, okay. But if you smell like leather, it's totally possible. If you have pineapple into the mouth, it's possible. It all depends on when you were brought up. So do not be afraid to speak up your mind about notes. Any idea for pairing beside the fish? Maybe some local meals from your country that I don't know about? No? Now you just want to drink it pure at the beach and sip on it the whole day, right? Well, it is a Polynesian wine, so you know, it does work. Yeah. Madame, Monsieur, et vous? Un plat particulier avec lequel ce vin irait bien, peut-être? Ah bah dans le coin, pas mal. Lady is just saying that since it's white wine, everything goes with it.
Yes.
You know, cheese, interesting point. Interesting point. We have kind of a debate with my sommelier, which goes into the wine we're going to have after. He says like blue cheese, best is sweet wine. I say best is red wine. So you know, guess it depends on the taste as well. Now we're going to go on to the sweet one. Sweet one, same mix of grape, except there is one more. It has some muscat as well. It is what brings it the sweetness, but there is no sugar added into this one.
The Blanca Corral. We've been ordering this. It's actually very delicious. Made right here in these Tahitian islands.
Quentin, what do you call this one?
This one is Mona Mona.
Thank you.
this one you have 45% of the Muscat, about 50% of the Carignan Red, and still 5% of the Italian. So overall, same notes: citruses, unripe mango, minerality, but you have the sweetness of the Muscat that comes to it. What is nice, it is not too sweet. I was quite afraid at the first time when someone would say, yeah, you're going to take a sweet wine from French Polynesia, but it is okay, not too sweet, because we know they have some, their fruits, lots of sun, so lots of sweetness, like the small pineapple that we find here. They're a lot more sweet than some of others you can find.
Yeah, very nice.
Real sweet for me.
Oh, it is on the sweet side, but it is not the sweetest you can find. Like you can, if you compare this to maybe a Gewürztraminer, like a late stage harvest, or you can also have some other, they're almost licorice. This one, more into the wine side of things.
Okay. It's sweet. Not as sweet as maybe a port, but it's good,
Yeah,
a
not
good
at all.
sweetness.
It is
That's-
wine, it is sweet wine. So what do you think? Would this pair well with a blue cheese? We're gonna go by average.
Like this is good for the dessert.
Yes.
Yeah.
Price-wise, the Mona Mona is a bit more expensive, but they are in about the same range. Yeah, it tends to be like maybe they are between $2 and $5 more, but they're in the same price range. The sweet one? I think we're in the 60s here or so. Yeah, in dollars. Yes.
In the 60s.
Yeah, I think so. I think like the white dry I made you try before is 5,800. So that's in Polynesian francs. So let's say it's about $58. And I think you have to add a bit more for the sweet one.
Right, okay.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
It is what I remember.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
that's
quite
right.
up to date on the wine.
We ordered
the
another.
wine
We ordered
prices.
another bottle last night, so you're right on. It's about 58.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, nice.
Yeah.
I do have a good memory for
Yes.
numbers usually. But
Yes.
so this one, my taste more around dessert.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe like a light chocolate. Maybe citruses indeed, like citruses salad or such would be very nice. So maybe with some blue cheese. I'm not sure. For me, debate is really like whether you like the sweetness to pair with something that's really salty, you know, sweet and sour, these kind of things.
Right.
Or I do prefer to have a nice red that has some body to it, just to not be crushed by the cheese. That's taste. Now to end this, I will tell you the anecdote about taste and about how it is important to have what you like. You already know it. When I was a young bartender in Switzerland, in a 5-star hotel, I had the first rooftop in Lausanne. Lausanne, for those who don't know, is built like San Francisco, all uphill. My hotel was in the middle, the Royal Savoy. At the bottom, there is a lake that separates Switzerland from France. And all up, you could see the entirety of the old town. It was a really beautiful place. Of course, we had Louis XIII's cognac. For those who don't know, Louis XIII's cognac is very special. It is a blend of eau de vie that's aged at least 100 years. The youngest eau de vie in is 100 years old. So the master blender, which is a girl right now, one of the first in her field, has such skill that she can make sure that if you buy a bottle of Louis XIII in 100 years from now, it tastes the same as one you buy right now. It is really impressive work. We had two ladies, I assume grandmother, granddaughter. Granddaughter orders ginger ale, and the young lady, the old lady, Louis XIII. Head bartender comes from the lobby, white glove, beautiful bottle, but it's made from Baccarat, the crystal house in France, the best in the world. An empty bottle costs about $600 to $800 on the market. It's made by hand. And of course the syringe. It's not even a jigger, it's a syringe to make sure you have every last drop of this precious liquid. He does the whole ceremony for the Louis XIII in the special Louis XIII glass, and you know, I poured the ginger ale nicely. We don't even have time to get out from the table. Young lady takes a sip, the glass to her grandmother. Grandmother takes the glass of pilsner tea, pours it into the ginger ale. Just so you know, it was about 2/3 of an ounce. She paid $500 for this. So she takes a sip and she's like, perfect. So of course we were quite shocked. Like, okay, we prefer to have like every notes available. Like for those who are a bit familiar with the 13th cognac, there's 7 different levels of aroma stages to go through if you want to have the entirety of the aroma it can deliver. And she just poured it into ginger ale. But you know what? At the end of the day, that's the way she liked it. That's the way she really enjoyed it, and she paid for it.
Yeah.
So if you want to have the best red wine with some ice, in my guess, is that the way you like it.
Yeah.
Don't listen to posh people. Just drink alcohol the way you want to. Just keep an open mind for when we always have new techniques or new things to show you. And that will end the tasting of this one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.